Good evening. Organizers and volunteers arrived early this morning to Pioneer Park and immediately began erecting tents, tables, and unloading trucks stocked with beverages, burgers, hot dogs, and condiments.
It was all in preparation for the festive arrival of hundreds of marchers in the annual Labor Day celebration. Local high school service organizations were there to lend a hand with the cooking, hauling of food, and any other chore that needed to be accomplished. Now, organizers say a lot goes into preparing this huge event.
We fundraise the organized labor, public and private unions, and so we essentially ask each other for donations, and usually put in $500 to $1,000 per union, and so that's how we fund the whole thing. It's for all workers, union and non-union workers. It's just a celebration of workers in general.
The first Monday of September officially became known as the federal holiday for Labor Day in 1894, 65 years before Alaska became the 49th state. Since that early January day in 1959, Alaska has been built and maintained by the American worker. As Jamie Schwartzwald reports, Fairbanks gathered today to celebrate those men and women.
The reason we celebrate Labor Day is to honor the sacrifices and of the men and women that have gone on before us. We enjoy organized labor only because of them.
The 40-hour work week, overtime, and workers' compensation are but a few achievements of the organized labor movement in the United States. Today, Interior residents gathered and marched in a show of solidarity and support for Alaska's workforce. State Representative David Guttenberg, a retired member of the Laborers Local 942, marched in the Labor Day parade that departed the Knoll Wing Public Library at noon. He spoke on the importance of Alaska Hire.
And especially in a resource state, that the resources of the state belong to the people. These are the people. And the people that work for a living that aren't members of union. It's every Alaskan.
The parade was organized by the Fairbanks Central Labor Council and co-sponsored by the Fairbanks North Star Borough. Alaska Governor Bill Walker joined a group of state and local elected officials to welcome those marching in the parade to Pioneer Park.
Alaskan worker has been so, incredibly beneficial to Alaska and what we've created. I mean, the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline, my wife and I both worked on that. The Alcan Highway, my mother worked on that. So infrastructure, what it's all about, and Alaska Labor is who's done that. So it's a very exciting day.
Alaska faces an unprecedented financial situation as the state's economy is closely tied to the price of oil, which closed at under $50 per barrel today. The state capital budget took a major hit last budget cycle. Governor Walker says the state will have to continue relying on federal dollars to keep Alaskans working.
On the federal side, I talked to the president about that when I came up with him on Air Force One, and every opportunity I've had, I've talked with the cabinet members about that as far as how the federal side can help augment what we need. So matching funds are 90-10 on many of our public works projects, so we need to keep that going.
I think if we actually did a significant amount of Alaska Hire, that the workers in this state would not see that big of a hurt. But we have to do that. I think the governor has to sit down with the industry and say, our people go to work. That's part of our contract with them, with all extraction industries, and that's what has to happen.
Continuing on with our Labor Day celebrations, there was a turnout for today's annual Labor Day picnic at Pioneer Park. Ryan Grimes has the story.
Members of the public celebrated Labor Day with local and state politicians today.
We have a lot of high school kids groups that help us out, including West Valley Volleyball, North Pole, cheerleaders and football team, and the Lathrop Barnum Dancers come out and help us out as well.
It's a day of celebration, according to American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations Alaska President Vince Beltrami. He says the state is going in a favorable direction to advance pro-labor initiatives under the Walker administration.
We've all been waiting for the construction of a big gas pipeline for years. There's been announcement after announcement, and this is the first time the effort that's underway right now with Governor Walker and the producers, this is the first time it's actually felt real.
Tanti agrees with Beltrami regarding Governor Walker, who also attended the picnic in Fairbanks.
We've had some conversation here with the borough and the state governor's office about doing some partnering and roundtable discussions on how we can continue to do workforce development with the possibility of large projects coming up in the future.
I'd like to see that people have somebody to represent their interests, and it doesn't just represent the interest of union people, it represents through their support of the Davis-Bacon and issues like that, helps represent every worker, not necessarily just people that belong to unions.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting from Pioneer Park.